Hey guys! Sorry Question Thursday kind of became Question Saturday night / Sunday morning, but that's because I got really busy Thursday and Friday and today. So sorry that was late in coming, but I have some questions here about majors and accents and stuff. So question 1, something happened and you have to switch majors. What's the first automatic major you'd switch to? I would have to say vocal work, soprano vocal training, mostly because that's what I always thought I was going to be doing at this point in my life / in my just general future as an adult. So is there a reason, or did it just randomly pop in your head? So that's the reason, is that I always thought I was going to be doing it. I mean, I remember living in my mom's first house and singing in the shower and singing Christine from Phantom of the Opera, and I just always thought that someday I was going to be Christine. Someday I was going to be on Broadway, or if not on Broadway, I was going to be singing. I don't know, just I didn't change it until pretty much like my first year of college. It occurred to me that maybe that wasn't going to happen. Okay, after the further thought and consideration, if you had to switch majors, what would it be and why? After further thought, since jumping into a vocal major and just kind of changing careers to vocal career, unless you're like on like American Idol or America's Got Talent or The Voice or something like that, just kind of like switching into a vocal career is very difficult, especially when you're like me, who's a soprano, and I have a more Broadway / operatic voice as opposed to a pop voice. So it'd be even more difficult to get into that scene later in life. So I suppose I would probably still stick with my international culture and history deal, but I might go more international. So instead of sticking with a region, because I'm East Asia is my major, my specialty, because I'm so bored with that at this point, I spend all of my day reading about Japan. And I mean, I like Japan, obviously, or else I wouldn't have started this, but you know, it gets boring. Just doing the same thing or rehashing the same problem from a different viewpoint. It makes me angry. So I would want to do something more generalized, I guess, and focus on other areas of the world too, because I'm Italian, my family's Italian, so I would love to know more about my heritage. I speak Spanish, so I think it would be important to know more about Spain and the Latin American countries. I took French for 3 years. I would love to know more about the French history, European history. I don't know like anything about the Caucasus, like East European region, other than like former USSR. And now they're not. Like, I just don't know that much. I don't think we as a society know enough about the Middle East. I think we know enough when we clash with them. We suddenly get an injection of history and current affairs. But I think it's very important to realize that every area has history, every group of people, every community has history, and it's going to affect their viewpoint. And so that's my thesis, essentially, is that historical memory and history plays into current affairs. So if you don't know the history of the area, if you don't know why they're going to react a certain way, you're not going to be able to anticipate, and you're going to get really surprised, and you're not going to know how to react to them reacting. So yeah, I would probably something like international affairs or something like that. What's a song that's currently stuck in your head? Right now, it's Frozen, because I'm going to be singing it later, because I got a request for that. But other than that, Song to the Moon from the opera Rusalka, because I just went and saw that today with Renee Fleming, and that's like one of my favorite arias. It's a really famous aria because Renee Fleming made it famous. That's the one that it's the... that one, the Song to the Moon aria. I don't know the words because they're in Czech, and I did not speak the Czech. So if there isn't one, but I did give you one. So what's the craziest, most daring / most daring thing you've done? I don't do a lot of crazy stuff. Most of my stuff is like spur of the moment stuff. Like, I'm gonna go see 2 p.m. in Chicago, and I'm gonna buy the VIP tickets for $150. I'm gonna drive up to Chicago. We're gonna spend the night, or you know, the second time, not spend the night. We're gonna drive back, and it's like, do it, and it just seems. It's planned, clearly, like there's planning that goes into it, but just kind of that like, I'm gonna do it kind of emotion that I have. Sometimes I just get really intense about stuff I want to do, and I will overcome all obstacles to do it. Other than that, crazy things that I do, I am like 92% sure that I'm gonna die by vicious animal attack fairly early in life, because I have like no sense of self-preservation. Some people out there will remember the story, but we were at the Stanley Hotel in Colorado, which for those of you who don't know is it's the Shining Hotel where Stephen King stayed when he was inspired for this story. And so it's haunted. We were at this hotel and we were like, oh, we want dinner, but the kitchen's closed and it's really expensive. So let's go walk down the hill to the McDonald's because it's like on this hill. So, you know, this is in Estes Park, Colorado. So it's in the mountains. Like we are on a mountain. So we're like, okay, we'll just walk down this hill. You know, we go down. And we're coming down the driveway of the Stanley. And there's just like a herd of elk. Like a family of elk. They're just like crossing the road to go stand on the lawn of the Stanley. And so we're like, oh, pictures, elk, and they're so close. And my reaction was, let's see how close we can get before they charge us and try to kill us. It was pretty close. The male elk, he had a giant rack of antlers. Like, he was very manly. And he just kind of stared at me until I got within like 10 feet of him. And then I was like, okay, pushing my luck. So then I walked away. But stuff like that, approaching animals that I probably shouldn't be approaching. One time I touched a raccoon that was in a trash can just because I wanted to touch a raccoon. Probably had rabies, but it was all cool. I survived. Also, I love getting dropped from high heights. So I did bungee jump twice in my life. So it's more like a bungee swing. It's not like a straight up and down one. It's more they drop you and you're in a swing and then you just kind of go like this for a while. I mean, you know. But I do want to really bungee jump, and I also would love to jump out of a plane. Tandem jumping, because the chance of me dying is much lower if somebody attached to me knows what they're doing. Alright, so the last question here is, let me hear some of that Cockney again. I miss it. So I'm not really good at accents. I don't do it a lot, you know. But Cockney is kind of, I don't know. You got your like My Fair Lady Cockney, which is like oh. A-E-I-O-U. You know, that's like My Fair Lady Cockney. But if you're talking like modern day London is kind of more like I guess watch Doctor Who and watch Rose Tyler. She's very Cockney. Mickey Smith, the brother-in-arms kind of thing. That's very Cockney. But again, this is probably a miserable accent, so don't make fun of me. Don't make fun of me for the Anyway, but to you, my dear, who asked for this, because I know who you are, I miss you loads, and I really do. I think about you a lot. Yeah, that's not sleeping. That's just me saying I think about you. I think I do. Yeah. Okay, now that I've embarrassed myself royally, the last request was to sing Frozen, Let It Go, which I like Frozen, so that's cool with me. We'll see how it goes, yeah. Okay, again, a cappella, because I don't want to screw around with the karaoke music and stuff. I just did the whole song, and it wasn't recording. Now there are people standing outside my apartment. I don't really want to sing on there because these are really thin walls. I'm in my kitchen area and I can hear them all the way over there. Oh my god, I want to kill these people. I literally hate them so much. Pretty sure I know who they are too. I really don't like them IRL. Not just at this moment, but just kind of generally. The snow glows white on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen. A kingdom of isolation, and it looks like I'm the queen. The wind is howling like this swirling storm inside. Couldn't keep it in, heaven knows I've tried. Don't let them in, don't let them see. Be the good girl you always have to be. Conceal, don't feel, don't let them know. Well, now they know. Let it go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go, let it go. Turn away and slam the door. I don't care what they're going to say. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway. It's funny how some distance makes everything seem small, and the fears that once controlled me can't get to me at all. It's time to see what I can do to test the limits and break through. No right, no wrong, no rules for me. I'm storm rage on. My power flurries through the air into the ground. My soul is spiraling in frozen fractals all around. And one thought crystallizes like a dicey blast. I'm never going back. The past is in the past. Let it go, and I'll rise like the break of dawn. Let it go, let it go. That perfect girl is gone. Here I stand in the light of day. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway. Okay, finally. Oh my god. After like 2 or 3 tries, we got through it, guys. We got oh, somebody just sent me a thing. Hope that was enjoyable and not too pitchy. There were a couple of moments. This isn't really in my register, like I've mentioned. I'm a soprano. This is quite firmly in the alto range, although she does hit some high notes for an alto, so this is not my cup of tea. I will see you guys in like 1.5 weeks because I was so late on this. Once again, comment below, message me, or comment on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, whatever your method may be. So questions, dares, if you need some advice or you just want a virtual hug, that's what I'm here for, folks.